What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Black Mirror. Got something very interesting for you today. Let's check this on right out. Oh yeah. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. If you haven't liked this video, you don't have to. But if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. It really helps out. With that being said, let's go ahead and move forward with this article here. I found this on Facebook. A friend of mine posted this on Facebook just now, and I'm like, no way that's true. No way that is, a thing. Apparently, it's really a thing. Apparently, it is a thing. With that being said, this is my first time reading the article. I saw only the headline. You and I are going to read this article right now together. It'll be both of our first time. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee enacts law stripping voting rights from protesters. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee quietly signed a bill last week that could result in some protesters losing their right to rock the vote. The bill, which Governor Lee signed into law Thursday, increases the penalties for people who illegally camp on state property to a Class E felony, punishable by up to 6 years in prison. Residents registered to vote in the state lose their right to vote if convicted of a felony. That's in any state, to my understanding. The law will also implement a mandatory 45-day sentence for aggravated rioting, boost the fine for blocking highway access to emergency vehicles, and enhances the punishment for aggravated assault against a first responder to a Class C felony. This bill increases the punishment for illegal camping on state property from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class E felony, with a mandatory minimum sentence of 30 days imprisonment and an order of restitution for any property damage or loss incurred as a result of the offense. The bill, HB 8005, reads, "The American Civil Liberties Union of Tennessee told the Associated Press it will be observing enforcement of the law. We are very disappointed in Hold on, let me reread this. The American Civil Liberties Union of Tennessee told the Associated Press it would be observing the enforcement of the law. They would be. Okay, I got what they're saying there. We are very disappointed in Governor Lee's decision to sign this bill, which chills free speech, undermines criminal justice reform, and fails to address the very issues of racial justice, police violence raised by the protesters who are being targeted." ACLU of Tennessee Executive Director Heidi Weinberg said in a statement, "While the governor often speaks about sentencing reform, this bill contradicts those words and wastes valuable taxpayer funds to severely criminalize dissent." The bill passed the General Assembly after more than 2 months of sustained protests outside the state capitol, where demonstrators have been protesting for racial justice reforms and to defund the police movement in the aftermath of George Floyd's killing by Minneapolis police in May. Lee, who was elected last year, and the Tennessee Republicans have defended the legislation, saying the protesters set fires inside and outside the courthouse in May, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. Lee, however, did not acknowledge that there were portions of the bill that he would have. He did acknowledge that there were portions of the bill that he would have done differently. Okay, now that is that entire article there. So now I'm going to get my gleanings from it. Now I'm going to try to catch my breath with it and try to find out exactly what they're saying here. So the friend that posted this on Facebook, and after reading this, I'm going to say it's a little bit of sensationalism, emotionalism. A friend who obviously has something, is tied into these riots, these protests, maybe lives in a big city, they do. And they're seeing these things. They got people who are protesting, and people are getting tired of the protest. Because here's my thing: if we're protesting, and I kind of get both sides of it. You gotta sometimes you gotta break a few glasses to get heard, But at the same time, the other guy's like, "Don't break my glasses." I hear you, But really, the thing is, right now, as black people, we need a plan. Rioting, looting, But rioting, looting is not protesters. Aggravated assault is not protesting. That's a fight. That's a felony. In the United States of in America, that is misdemeanor assault or maybe even felony assault. Either way, people don't want that. So what they're saying is we're going to stiffen up the penalties for people who are doing things that are outside the lines of normal protesting, i.e., 45-day sentence for aggravated rioting, i.e., illegal camping outside of state property, from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class E felony. People are wanting to discourage what they have deemed as inappropriate protesting. And like I said, I don't think that this silences or necessarily quells or chills dissent or free speech. I think that people still have the right to speak as freely as they want to, but they don't have the right to burn buildings down. Like, that is anarchy. I was reading an article last night from a guy, an Indian guru, who was saying he was depressing the thoughts in India at the time of socialism, Marxism, communism, anarchism, because he felt that capitalism had to run its course in that country first before you can apply any of these other philosophical constructs, which I actually agree with. I didn't believe that I agreed with that until I read it. Because I'm a big fan of communism. I'm a big fan of socialism, like a perfect communism, a perfect socialism, which will not exist because people are greedy, right? People want stuff. If you're at the top, you're going to want stuff. If you're at the bottom, you're going to want stuff. But who's got the more access to the stuff? The people at the top. So communism, socialism will never work in that way. People at the top are always going to ingratiate themselves with more favor. With that being said, capitalism is pretty much the best thing we got going right now because we already know that that's going on. In communism, that's not supposed to happen. In capitalism, it's just every man for himself. Do what you got to do to be the best. That's the system that needs to be in place right now. Socialism, communism will not work because people are too greedy. We have to let capitalism run its course. When we can't do it anymore, that's when we'll look at other philosophies. But with that being said, these people are looking at their property burning. They're looking at their stores being burned to the ground. And this is not what I'm saying that any of this is right or wrong, but I'm just giving you a perspective. And they're saying, hey, we've had enough. They're lobbying the government. They're lobbying their state and local government, their federal government, and saying, hey, we need change. And what these people are doing is they're bringing about change. They're stiffening penalties for people that want to loot and riot and burn and be anarchist. What's your opinion on that? I really don't have one. I'm just stating facts here. I really don't have an opinion either way. I'm just stating perspective. Maybe that perspective would be an opinion. But I'm trying to stay as objective as I can because I really don't want to anger anyone, I guess, by saying the wrong thing here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I'm not going to be long. Until next time, guys. See you then. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Like the video.